Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another day of May I Scraplift You. Today I am scraplifting the awesome Julie Taylor, and her Instagram ID is Julie9699 in case you wanted to go and check that out. She is obviously on the Bramble Fox design team, as it said there in the thumbnail. And I really liked this layout. I'm not doing a dog layout, but I really liked the texture in it with all of those ripped papers and with the fiber that she's got going on there. So I pulled out this really old My Mind's Eye paper that has all these polka dots on it, and then I pulled out a couple of other papers that I thought went well with it. That one with the triangles, I'm not sure who that's from. The other is a Maggie Holmes paper. I used the rest of it on Friday's Mixed Media Mayhem layout, in case you missed that. The photo that I am documenting is actually my husband playing, I think they're playing Slapjack. It's him and one of the girls that I take care of. And this was on our Tahoe trip. She thought it was hilarious that he was playing with her, and he kept, you know, missing the pile and losing and all that kind of stuff, and she thought it was so funny. Obviously, she had no clue that he was doing it intentionally. She's only 3, so she wasn't catching on that quite that well, but she thought it was hilarious. She was beating him. So anyway, I thought I would go ahead and just rough all of these edges up. I'm using this awesome distress tool from Some Assemblage Required. I am loving this tool so much. It has made my distressing life so much easier. It used to be one of the things I hated doing the most, and now I don't mind it at all. When you have the really tiny disc one that is just a little bit larger than maybe like a quarter, it's really difficult. The little grooves are not deep enough for the paper, really, that kind of slides out. It's hard to hold on to. Well, this one is none of those things. Super easy to hold on to. The grooves are deep enough for the paper to go in, and it's really just a great tool. So highly recommend it if it is something that you have been looking for. Or if you have one of the small ones, I would highly recommend replacing yours because, like I said, this one is so much easier. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want these papers to go and how much paper I need to trim off. I don't want to cut it more than one time, you know, I don't want to waste my paper, but most of these pieces are all scraps. Actually, all of these pieces are scraps. The only one that is a full-size paper is the 12 by 12 in the background. And then this pink piece is actually this velvety texture, and it's kind of a fabric. You can't rip it at all. So there was no way I was going to be able to do that. And so I went ahead and I just sewed that little trim piece on that has all those little pom-poms on it. So I took that over to the sewing machine, sewed that on, and I'm really happy with the way that that looks. I did glue it down first so it would actually be easier to sew. I used some liquid glue to do that and then let it dry, because you can't just like pick it up while it's wet and then sew it, because your needle will be a really big mess. So let it dry and then go sew it. And I find that it's easiest for me to sew over liquid glue rather than over ATG, because the ATG can still make your needle kind of gummy, but the liquid glue does not. I have this little rectangle piece that I am using as well that is going to be underneath my photo. I thought about using this piece that says giggling, but I decided to use the one that says relaxing, because basically after a long day of playing in the snow and that kind of stuff, we're just relaxing back at the hotel room. We weren't, she was giggling quite a bit, but I decided to save that for a different layout. It was a little bit brighter than I really wanted anyway. I would have had to have brought in a lot more of the bright elements to kind of play along with it, but I had this Felicity Jane little pack of ephemera that one of the gals at my retreat had gifted as a table gift. And so I thought I will just use those because the colors in it were just perfect to match this polka dot paper. And so using those, that kind of just made me think I better just use the lighter color acrylic piece for my title that says relaxing. So now I'm just figuring out which way I want my paper to go, given the fact that I have all of these extra pieces that I want to add on to my layout. Now I did decide to go and use this stencil. I think I borrowed this from MK. It is just a polka dot stencil, but the dots are not perfect. And I just did a little bit of, actually this one might be from Sandy. I am not 100% sure. I borrowed from both of them on this retreat. I did not bring any of my large stencils with me, so it was great to just have theirs. I actually do think that one was from Sandy. So I am using that polka dot stencil to go ahead and mimic the polka dots that are on the large piece of paper on the left-hand side. So now I've sewn my pink piece down onto my layout using a zigzag stitch. And then I am going to go ahead and start using all of these little ephemera pieces from Felicity Jane and tucking those in. I really like the way that they look. Very easy to work with. And I have never did subscribe to any of the Felicity Jane stuff. I just bought a few things here and there when they would have like their Black Friday sale and that kind of stuff. The quality was excellent. And it really is a shame that she is no longer doing the kits or anything like that. But really happy to have received these and been able to use them so quickly on a layout. Using a couple of labels there just so I can make a note of what they were playing. I'm not going to do that while we're on camera. I usually do most of my journaling off camera. So just, know that I do actually do journaling. I don't just leave them blank. Playing around with tucking everything in and where I want all of the little pieces to go. And then I will just start using some liquid glue to adhere them down. I did pop a couple of things up onto some foam tape, including the top of that little label that has the, I think it's an L. Yeah, it has an L on it. And just to give a little bit of extra dimension. And then I'm going to go ahead and use another piece of foam here to pop this peach piece up. And then I'm using my liquid glue to go ahead and adhere the title. I normally use glue dots and I didn't bring them with me on this particular trip. I did have a few, but I didn't really bring all of them with me. So I'm just trusting that this liquid glue is going to hold. And then I'm sprinkling a little bit of gold Heidi Swap Color Shine over the top. When I get home, I'm adding a little bit of twine or ribbon here into the tag holes because I didn't really want to have any naked tag holes. Anyway, while I do that, I'm just want to remind you there are a bunch of people playing along with May I Scraplift You. Go and check out their videos down, or their links down below. They are in a playlist so that you can easily get to all of the May I Scraplift You layouts. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions or comments, you can leave them down below. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. It does take me a little bit of time to respond, so be patient and know that I will respond at some point, probably within a week. Thank you so much again. I hope you're having a great day, and I will be back again tomorrow with another video. So hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this one, and if you don't mind hitting subscribe if you're not subscribed, I would love that too. See you soon. Bye-bye.